Hey guys, welcome to the first episode of Film Friday, where today we're going to be talking about how to guard positions 1 and 2 and why the center dictates your defensive strategy. So let's get right into it. Here in clip 1, the 5 is going to start with the ball. As you can see here, he gets fouled. We're going to be breaking down the strategy of X1 and how he should be guarding position 1. So, what is important for the person at X1? Where is the center facing? The center is facing the 1-2 side. Why is this important? Because it shows us that the 1 can't get the ball at all. If the 1 gets the ball, then he's going to have an opportunity to either pass it into the center or shoot it if the X1 drops back, because a one-man zone is the worst situation in water polo. So where should the X1 position player be? He should be in the passing lane over here with his hips faced back to the goal. Why? Because if he decides, hey, this guy's in the passing lane, I'm going to beat him on a backdoor drive, then you jump over your hips and you're still in the passing lane to guard a cross pass. So let's watch how this goes. The 1 gets the ball. The 1 gets the ball because the defender was out of position. He was in front of him. Now, what could the X1 do now? He's screwed the second that the player at 1 gets the ball. Why? Right now, he could easily pass it into the center, which could lead into a goal or exclusion. Or if the X1 decides to drop back and guard the center completely, the 1 could walk it in for a shot. So how do I play this? Again, I recognize as the X1 defender, hey, the center is facing my side. I cannot allow the player at position 1 to get the ball. I'm going to position myself about right here with my hips back to the cage. If the player at 1 decides to go on a backdoor drive, I could recover over my hips while staying in the lane for him to get the ball. Now, for this clip, it's a very similar situation, but the center is facing a different side, so you have to play it a little differently. Here, the player at 5 gets the ball. The center is facing the 4-5 side. What does that mean for the defender at X1? That means if the player at 1 gets the ball at 6 meters, it's okay. Why? Because he only has one option, to shoot or pass it back around. The defender at X1 is not going to be stuck in a one-man zone. But what is really important for him to cover? That backdoor drive. That, if he beats him, it's a goal or a 5-meter. So, because the center is facing the 4-5 side, the player at X1 should be positioned himself in front of the defender so he can't beat him on a drive. If the player at 1 gets the ball, the only thing he can do is try to draw a foul, which you'll stay up, high in your legs, attacking him. Or if he shoots with you in his face, that's an extremely low percentage shot that you should be okay with. Now, for the next clip, here we're talking about the player at X2 right here. Now let's watch this play develop. So, as you can see here, the center is facing the 4-5 side, and it's a 4-5 zone. What does this mean for the X1 and X2? The only way to break a 4-5 zone is to drive. So they should be pressed up, but in front of the player. Because if the players at 1 or 2 get the ball, again, they can't pass it into the center. They could only pass it back to the 4-5 side because there's a zone there. And if they decide to shoot it, it's a low percentage shot because you're already there. The thing that you cannot do as a defender is what this player at X2 did. So let's watch. Also, recognize that the player at position 2 is usually the best shooter at the pool. You don't want to leave him open. Watch how the 2 position moved a little bit into the zone. Watch this. So watch him right here. Why are you off of him? The center is all the way over here facing the other side. There's nowhere for you to drop. The best shooter is here. Right now, he could take 2 fakes and score the ball. Instead, you should be completely pressed on him. So when he gets the ball, he has to pass it away or take an extremely low percentage shot. Here's the last clip. We're talking about the X1 defender, so let's watch this play develop. Okay, the player at 4 got the ball. The centers are facing the 4-5 side. So what are the possibilities for the offensive players? Number one, when the ball's at 4, 1 could beat him backdoor, 2 could drive across, and those are 2 possibilities that we completely do not want to let happen. We're okay if 1 and 2 get the ball. Why? Let's imagine 1 got the ball here, right now. What could he do with the ball? He could take a shot with you right in his face, which he's not going to do. He could pass it back around to 2, 4, 5, which is okay because you're in a zone and you're going to be switching around in the 4-5. But the one thing where he could absolutely beat you on is a backdoor drive. So why does that matter for the X1 defender? Because it matters what shoulder you play on. So as you can see here, the X1 is playing on his right shoulder. Why is this a mistake? Because we're okay for him to get the ball, as we said. What we're not okay with is a backdoor drive. So watch this play happen. Here, the one's attacking. Watch right here. You see how the player X1 is all the way in the passing lane? There's no need to be there. The player X1 is going to beat him on a backdoor drive here. There he goes, and he draws a 5-meter. Now imagine, instead of being in the passing lane, he just guarded his left shoulder. If he guarded his left shoulder, there's nowhere for the 1 to go. He can't beat him on a backdoor drive, and it changes the whole way that your defensive play was played. That is why looking where the center is facing and understanding what the offensive players could do really dictates your offensive and defensive strategy. Thank you guys. That's episode 1 of Film Fridays, brought to you by Prep to Play Sports. See you next Friday.